a new style. I'm going down all the rabbit holes. My ADHD is like, my inner witch is so happy. So happy about fall. This is my cape, you guys. This is like my flannel fall cape. Target, by the way. So welcome to my fall book tag. Actually, I think it's called like the autumn, you know what, you guys, I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. It's probably in the title of the video. Remembering the names of things is not my strong point. So here's the deal. First of all, look at my cute little academic, like dark academia bow that I got from, I think it was from a Lumicrate, maybe? Anyway, I like did all this stuff to be like all fall and cute. I have my witchy snake earrings that are just awesome. And by the way, I'm like a total sucker for iridescent things. So like, you know, see that? You know, some girls like sparkle. I like shine. I like iridescent shine. I love it. And then I did put on my flannel because I wanted to be all fall-esque. And here's the thing, it's been like fall weather here. Like it was not for a long time. It was very hot outside, but then we got our nice fall stormy crispy air weather, and then today it decided to get up to almost 80 degrees, and it's warm and sunny outside. And I put on my flannel and it was too hot. Like I was way too hot, even being inside my house, which is temperature controlled. So I had to take it off, but I just wanted to show you that I am in the fall mood, okay? I have decorated. I have pulled out all of my mugs. I love mugs, by the way. I collect coffee mugs because I love coffee. I have like a collection at this point of Halloween mugs, or just fall mugs in general. You'll probably see them throughout my fall videos. So here's my kitty cat today because I was feeling in a witchy mood. So this is my little black cat. I've got my witchy earrings, you know, just at some point I might have to ditch the flannel, but I'm trying, you guys. I'm really trying to be in the fall mode. Oh, I do also have my really cute witchy pillow. Isn't that so cute? I love Target. Target is a weakness. The mug is from Target. And by the way, I got this year at Target, so they're probably still available. I also got this year at Target. I just can't resist the witchy stuff, you guys. My inner witch is so happy about fall. Okay, let's get going on this tag. You probably don't want to hear me ramble all day long, and as cute as she is, I want her to face me because I like looking at this cute face when I take a drink. Okay, let's look at these questions and talk about fall. Also, as you will have seen, I did light my candle. Oh, I should start by saying I saw this tag on Basically Brit's channel. I will link her below. I love her. Go check her out if you're not already following her. She does a lot of like book content, but she's also an artist. She has a shop and she sells her artwork, and she has new collections coming for the season. And she's just my kind of girl and has all the fall vibes. So definitely go check her out. I believe she's based out of the Netherlands. I will link her channel below. And then her channel, she said who originally came up with this tag, I think, but now I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I will also link them down in the box below. Let's get started. 1. What book always reminds you of autumn? Now, I don't necessarily have one book that reminds me of autumn. Like, I think that I'm starting to curate some books that I want to read on repeat every fall. And so those will likely be my answers in the future. but I'm just starting to like reread books, like get into that era of rereading. For a long time, I was so shiny object syndrome. I know I'll never be able to read all the books I want to read in my lifetime. So I was like, I don't have time for rereads. I have to read all the books. I have to read new books, all the things. But then I realized that some books just really make me happy. Some books are better on a reread. And yeah, sometimes you miss things the first time around, or sometimes they hit differently another time, you know? I don't think all books are meant to be reread, but there are definitely some that really are. They just really are better with time and rereads. So what I will say is the genres that I prefer in the fall, which are witchy books. It's its own genre, okay? I named it witchy books. I wish every bookstore would have a witchy book section. I actually was in Seattle last week and I went to a bookstore there. It'll be in my upcoming vlog, but it's right there in Pike's Market. And they actually had a section called witchy shit. And it was a whole section of witchy books. And it was awesome. And I did pick up a book there that I'm so excited to read. You'll see that. Anyways. Okay. You guys, I am chatty today. I don't know why. I am going down all the rabbit holes. My ADHD is like, it's firing all over the place. So let's try to get back on topic. Witchy books. I love witchy books in the fall. I also love dark academia books. So for me, I think that in the fall, I am turning towards like cozy rom-coms. I always need some cozy rom-coms in between the heavy stuff. That helps me so that I don't get into a slump. I do like thrillers when I'm in the mood, but I just haven't really been in the mood. But like thriller mysteries is very fall-esque to me. I just have not been in my thriller era. I have a lot of thrillers that I enjoy, and I do sometimes like sprinkle them in. It's just not something that I've really been into lately. So this fall it's looking more like witchy books and dark academia. And a book that I now associate with fall that I want to reread every year just because I love it. I think it's hilarious. I think it will get better with time, and I'm planning to reread it in the next week or so, is The Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Marais. I just think this book is so underrated. It's an indie author, and she actually teaches. She's from Canada. She actually teaches writing classes. But I just love the book so much. It's very much Hocus Pocus vibes. And I think the average rating on Goodreads is like 3.5 or 3.6 or something. But I gave it 5-star, okay? Because it's so much fun. For what it's meant to be, I think it's fantastic. And I am so looking forward to rereading it. And I have a feeling it's going to become a comfort read for me, and that every fall I'm going to want to reread it. So that was the really, really, really long way of saying witchy books and The Witches of Moonshine Manor. Okay, moving on. What is your favorite autumnal book cover? Okay, you guys, my other passion besides reading books is collecting books. I love books on my bookshelf. To me, they are art. It is a collection. Whether or not I have read them or am going to read them anytime soon is irrelevant. It is art, and I'm collecting it, and it's there for the right time and the right purpose and the right reader. And I also love special editions because I love books, so why not make them pretty? So I have a lot of books that I think are fantastic, but I'm gonna go ahead and insert some B-roll and show you a few of my favorites. But I have some special editions of The Starling House that I think are just gorgeous. I've showed them before, but I have editions of The Crimson Moth that I think are gorgeous. What else do I really associate with fall? Gosh, there's just so many, you guys. I'm totally a cover buyer. Like, it's so hard when I see a book that has a beautiful cover for me to not buy it, especially if it even sounds like remotely up my alley, which a lot of them are. But yeah, I also subscribe to 3 different book subscription services, Illumicrate and Owlcrate. So I'm always receiving beautiful books, and they send a lot of like fall books. Oh, you know what else? I freaking love the Infernal Devices and The Last Hours covers by Cassandra Clare. Those totally fall vibes. What is it? Because they're like dark and Victorian, kind of gothic-y or something about it. And the stories take place in London, which is like very much fall weather, I feel like, for the majority of the year. You UK people, let me know if I'm wrong, but the gist that I get is that it's like fall, springy fall weather, like dark and stormy and rainy and drizzly and gray for like half the year or more. To me, that is fall weather. So to me, these books just scream fall. Now, granted, I also am reading them in the fall, but still, I stand by. And those covers are absolutely stunning. I will plaster my screen with all of the beautiful covers. Question number 3. Favorite fall drink while reading? I'll give you one guess. I drink it in almost every single video I make. I drink it whether it's morning or noon or night. I drink it whether it's the winter or the fall or the summer or the spring. Coffee is my jam. I pretty much only drink coffee and water. Those are like the only 2 things I drink. All day, every day, baby. I do like tea, but I have to be in the mood for tea. I'm always in the mood for coffee. I have to be in the mood for tea, but I'll throw a little twist on it and I'll say that I also love chai, and I don't drink chai year round. I think that is a fall thing. So can a dirty chai, even with chai though, I like to add a shot of espresso if you've never tried it that way. In the US, at least, it's called a dirty chai. I heard someone once refer to it as a chai surprise. I love it, but I still have to have like my espresso. I mean, I don't have to, but I prefer it with my espresso. So hot chai latte with a shot of espresso. Let's make that my official fall drink. I do like pumpkin spice, but I'm not as crazy about it as everybody else. Don't come after me. But yeah, any kind of hot drink. I love my hot drinks, like just the ritual of like having a hot drink and sitting down and like feeling it in my hands and sipping. Love it. I always have coffee. Always have coffee when I'm reading. Okay. Do you prefer late night reading or morning reading? Kind of like coffee. I prefer all day reading. I like to read all day, every day, any time of day. But I am not a morning person. By nature, I am a night owl. So when I first wake up in the morning, my brain takes a while to get going. Like my brain really is like rusty. And so unless I fell asleep at the crux of a book, like a plot twist or at the end of the book, and I wake up thinking about the book, which happens sometimes, then I will immediately pick up the book and start reading to finish wherever I fell asleep. Most of the time, I like to sit down and curl up with an actual book at nighttime before bed. The exception being, first of all, we know I listen to audiobooks all day, every day. So there really is no wrong time of day, okay? But even with my audiobooks, I usually don't stick my earbuds in and start listening until I've had my coffee, until like my kids are off at school, like until my brain starts to wake up. I can't just like have immediate stimulation. I get enough of that from my children. So, but aside from that, if I'm gonna curl up with a book, I like to do it at nighttime or on the weekends. I love like a Sunday morning, like a late Sunday morning, like a brunchy read, like sleeping in, waking up, making my coffee, sitting down, curling up in a blanket, and like just reading on a Sunday morning. But when I say morning, I mean like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. That would be my other favorite time. Next, number 5. Halloween is coming. What is your favorite spooky read? Okay, fun fact about me. I love scary movies. I love horror films. But for some reason, I don't love those elements in books. So as I've been reading more and more fantasy, sometimes, and speculative fiction, which I love, sometimes those genres bleed into horror. Okay, so like there's horror elements in the book. If I know that it's going to be there, it can, and it's done well, I can like really enjoy it. But if I don't know there's going to be a horror element, and I think I'm just reading a literary fiction, a speculative fiction, or I think that I'm reading just like a fantasy, then I don't love it. I don't love it. It can totally turn me off from a book. But since I've been getting like a little more used to these elements in my literary fiction and in my fantasy, I'm warming up to them. I'm warming up to certain things, and I am enjoying them more and more, depending on how they're done. So as scary as I get would be like The Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, the pretty book I showed you. Like I loved, what's it called? The Twisted Crown series, the Shepherd. See, you guys' names, I can never remember. What is the name of that duology? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go look it up. And also, my partner's calling me. BRB. After pausing and talking on the phone, I remember the name of the book. One Dark Window. The One Dark Window series. That very much has like the spooky fall vibes, which I really loved. And it took me by surprise because I'm not a spooky, gothic-y, dark fantasy romance girl. But I really liked that one. I also do really like psychological thrillers. To me, that's spooky. I do really like vampire books. So like Dowry of Blood, that was fantastic. That was very dark, kind of creepy vibes. I definitely would associate like vampire stories with creepy, spooky reads. And then also thrillers. But again, I haven't been in a thriller mode. When it comes to those kinds of books though, I do really like Lisa Jewell. I also really like Greg Iles. He's one of my favorite authors. Been around a long, long time. Pre-book talk. Still writing. He's fantastic. He writes really good thrillers that are like very suspenseful and also very meaningful. So check those two authors out. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, what is the ultimate comfort read for you? So I did talk about how I think that The Witches of Moonshine Manor is going to become a comfort read for me. But the books that are already comfort reads for me are The Secret Garden, because that was like the first book I ever fell in love with, the first story I ever fell in love with as a child. And I was introduced to it by my grandmother. So I actually collect different editions of The Secret Garden, and I just love it. It's so comforting to me. I know it's not like a fall thing, but what kind of is, right? Because like she's in the house. It's like this big old mansion and there's like a plague, and then she thinks she hears like a ghost or noises. Anyway, I guess it could definitely be like fall-esque, but that is an ultimate comfort read for me because I feel like I've known that story my whole life and I just know it like the back of my hand, and it reminds me of my grandma who's gone. And yeah, so my other comfort read is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, because it's a pretty short and sweet book, but it's, what is it called? Like an allegory? Is that what they're called? I'm going to look it up. What is it? Allegory. Story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. Yes. The Alchemist is a translated piece of work, and it's an allegory. And I feel like part of the experience is gaining the meaning from the allegory, like figuring out the symbolism and like going through that whole process as you read the book. It's a short book. It's like less than 200 pages, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not going to say too much about it, just that it reads like a bedtime story or a story you would tell a child, but it has like a much higher level meaning. And if you get the symbolism and it means something to you, it's so good. I just love it. And it's one of those books that like, it's beautifully written. The allegory is fantastic. I love the moral of the story. And I kind of get something new out of it every time I read it. So I'm actually due for a reread. So I might read that this fall as well. So that's another favorite. And then Throne of Glass, man. I love Throne of Glass so much. And I reread it this spring. And it's a comfort read for me now at this point. It's a comfort series. I love it so much. I love the characters. I love the writing. I love the stories. I just love all of it. So now that I've reread it and I just loved it, and it felt like that same kind of feeling of like coming home. Like I know these people and I know this place and I know this story. I plan to reread it at least once every couple of years, and I can definitely consider it one of my comfort reads at this point. Okay, next question is favorite autumnal reading snack. I had to think about this, but I think that I have to go with pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. I'm not a big cook, not like a big chef. I just don't enjoy it. I'm just not a big like cooker. I don't love to make food. I love to eat food. I just don't love to make food. But I do enjoy baking in the fall. And one of the things I like to make in the fall time is pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. I have a really easy recipe. If you guys want to see that in one of my vlogs, let me know. That might be something we do together while I'm reading. We might bake cookies together and then read fall books. Number 8. What is your favorite autumnal candle to burn while reading? Okay, so I showed this to you at the beginning of the video, but I'm definitely like a smell person. Certain scents just, they are fall to me and they make my whole experience. And man, even like, you know how like you can listen to a song and it can change your entire mood? I'm like that, but I also can smell a certain smell and it can change my entire like existence in that moment. And so candles in the fall and winter are so important to me. The smells, they make me feel cozy. They recontextualize the seasons, because I think I get a little bit of like seasonal depression and I don't do well when the sun goes away. I love the crisp like air of autumn, and I love the colors of the trees, and I love wearing sweaters and drinking my coffee and lighting my candles and being cozy. But ultimately I don't do well when the sun isn't out. And the smells that I have curated for fall and winter really keep me from getting into a depression. Truly, the smells, the coffee, and my books. My favorite fall smell is pumpkin pecan waffles by Bath and Body Works. But I do find dupes occasionally at other stores that are just very similar. So I don't like it to be too sweet, but I like a bakery gourmandy scent. You know, like if you walk into an ice cream shop and they are making waffle cones, or if you're at a hotel and they have like a waffle maker down in the breakfast area, how waffles have like a very distinct smell that's just like this semi-sweet, rich kind of baking smell. And then, you know, if you're like at the fair or at a festival and they have roasted like almonds or pecans with like cinnamon and sugar, you know that smell? You can like smell it through the whole fair. That's what this smells like. This smells like sugared roasted pecans from the fair and fresh waffles put together with just like some pumpkin spice. Mwah! It's so yummy. It makes me feel so cozy and warm, but it can also make me hungry sometimes. But it's really good. I highly recommend it. The throw on this candle is fantastic. I have a pretty decent sized house and it's 2 levels, and I can light this in one room and I can smell it through my entire house. I can smell it upstairs, even though I'm downstairs right now. So yeah. What else? Number 9, when you're not reading, what is your favorite autumnal activity? Really, reading is my favorite autumnal activity. But some other things I do like to do when we get into the cooler weather is I do like to go hiking, or like going out and seeing the foliage in the mountains when it's changing colors. I love changing leaves. So pretty. I like to go to the theater. I like to go to like orchestra, to musicals, to any kind of live performing arts. You know what the other thing I like to do in the fall is? Decorate. I love to decorate for the holidays and the seasons. Love that. And I might show a little bit of that in my reading vlogs. Stay tuned. But yeah, this is just for example, like I have little mushrooms, little toadstools everywhere in my house. And then I like the pumpkins, and I have some like acorn decor, and yeah. And then I'm full of the witchy decor, like all the witchy stuff, which you can see back here. But I actually just have so much fun with it. I love it. So yeah. I have a son now who plays football. So we've been going to his football games every week, and that's been really fun. It's really fun to watch. So I do enjoy kind of bundling up and going out and sitting on the stadium and cheering him on and seeing what these kids can do. I love to go to bookshops and just browse. I like to go sit in a bookshop or in a cafe and drink coffee and read a book, even if I don't buy anything, but I'm probably gonna buy something if I go to a bookshop. If you know me, you know. I just love being around books. I just like that cozy atmosphere of just like being there. And if I need to be around people, but I don't want to like be around people because I'm a single mom, I live on my own, even though I have a partner, we don't live in the same home. And so, and we both have kids. And so sometimes we're busy and we can't always be together when we want to be. So if I'm having like a moment where I need to be around people, but I'm also an introvert and I don't want to like socialize or talk to people, I like to just go to like a bookshop or a cafe and get a coffee and read my book and be around other people who are doing the same thing without actually having to talk to them. But I still feel like I connected with people. Just me. I also like to do like arts and crafts. I'm a very creative person. I like to do artsy stuff. I like to do beadwork. I like to paint. I like to craft things. I like to do woodwork. My mood really dictates what kind of artsy crafty thing that I'm doing. Also, I do have a little side business where I sell pre-owned books and I do blind date with a book. If you're not familiar, it's like where I wrap up books and put a description, and so people buy books based on the description, not based on the cover. And it's just a good way to like branch out and get you out of your comfort zone with reading. And so I put together these little blind date with a book packages, and I get really busy in the fall and winter with that because people like to buy them at little like holiday markets, and they like to buy them for Christmas gifts and whatnot. So last question is, what's on your autumnal reading list TBR? I have so many books on my TBR, and I'm a mood reader, so I don't like to have a strict TBR. But I recently posted a video. It was my first ASMR video where I talked about books that are on my fall TBR. So I want to read all of those. But I also, books I didn't note on that video that I want to read is, I want to read the Lady of Darkness series. So I'm thinking about making that a vlog where I read the entire series. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I want to read the Naturals series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I have all the books. I've had them on my shelf for a while, but I've been waiting for fall to read them because I've heard like if you like Criminal Minds, then you might like this series, like a YA version of Criminal Minds. And I love Criminal Minds. I don't even watch TV, but like that's one of my favorite shows. And so yeah, I'm excited, but that just feels very fall, like the like murder mystery investigative FBI type of situation. It just feels very fall to me. So I've been waiting. I also want to read the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. Again, let me know if that's a reading vlog you would like to see. I'm thinking about reading the entire series on a vlog. I want to read the Jack the Ripper series by Carrie Maniscalco. And then I also want to read her other books as well. But yeah, I just, again, that like murder mystery, serial killer, or whatever. For me, that just screams fall. I don't even honestly know what that whole series is about, but it screams fall to me. And then I have a stack like this big. This is like a cape, you guys. This is like my flannel fall cape. It's a new style, okay? My TBR of witchy books alone, I'm only talking about witchy books, is like bigger than you guys can see. There's no way I'm gonna get to them all this year with all the other fall books I still want to read, but that's okay. I probably read like 15 witchy books last year. If I read 10 to 15 this year, then I'll just keep adding to it every year. I'll just read the witchy books. Plus, I don't need it to be fall to read witchy books, but I'm definitely going to read more witchy books in the fall. Catching my drift? So I'm also thinking about releasing another witchy book recommendation video and or witchy books TBR for this fall. So if you have any opinions about that, please let me know in the comments. I'm full of ideas. Sometimes I don't know which one to execute. You guys, that is all. Thank you so much for being here, for listening to my rambles about fall. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a little bit about me. And I want to know more about you. So down in the comments below, what do I want to know? Tell me your favorite fall drink. Like, tell me how you order your coffee or your tea or whatever it is that you drink. Tell me your favorite fall drink. And if it's something you order at like Starbucks or something, let me know exactly what you order so that if I decide I want to try it, I can try it. And tell me what fall snacks you like to eat while reading, because I can't just eat cookies all day, every day. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be good for me. Okay. Thank you so much, you guys. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one.